So it's confirmed.
I thought you were going to say something else, and I was trying to think what we're doing, and then that's when I knew it was going wrong, and then I just went, boo.
What was your biggest struggle on adapting to the bigger bike? What was your favourite part of this year's prologue? How different was the course for that adventure bike? Your 3 best tips to improve riding and speed in the woods/single trails. Dakar, maybe? What does the bike weigh compared to other bikes? Because I did hear.
Yo, and welcome back. So today I'm going to do questions and answers that I put on my Instagram the other day regarding Romaniacs and riding the adventure bike. We did a vlog every day while we were there, but we haven't actually done the final day. So I will get into that today and answer all the questions.
It's been a while. We didn't get round to doing it because the last day of Romania didn't really go.
It was going really well.
It was
until
going.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
So basically, I'll get into it. On the final day, because of our, not disastrous day one, but because of our mishap on day one, I was down on time. So I won day 2, day 3, and I was slowly making up more time to catch
day
pole.
4. You won the last day still.
I still won the last day, but I went into the final day. I had to make up 5 minutes. Was it just over 5 minutes?
Yeah.
And I managed to do, was it just over 3 minutes in the morning before the service? So we were on for it. And I knew that afternoon was short, but I knew I could make time. So I was pushing hard in the afternoon, and then I had a big high side moment on a fire road, and I went down and it hurt, and I gravel rashed and I got some infections and stuff like that. But we still won the final day with that, but it wasn't enough to take the win. So I was a little bit gutted, and we came away from there. And just because at the time I had to go and see the doctors and get my wounds cleaned out, but in the end they all got infected anyways, so we couldn't go to TKO. So I just looked after them, and then we've just been working, getting ready for Endurocross really.
Yeah, been a busy time. Having a little bit of recovery time.
We have. We needed the recovery, I feel.
Yeah, but next up we've got Tyne Ride.
Tyne Ride is on the 30th, so make sure you come and check that one out.
That'll be really cool.
And then on the 2nd of September, we fly directly to America to get ready for Endurocross, which I am so excited about. And that's kind of why we've been so busy recently. Yeah. Because I've just been getting a solid base before we go to the first round.
Right, let's get into these questions.
Go on, hit me with them.
So, from Jackson94, what's next for the Tiger? Dakar, maybe? You've had a lot of questions about this.
No Dakar, absolutely not a chance would I ever go to Dakar. Honestly, the guys that race that are unreal. There's not a chance. I used to want to do it like 10 years ago, but now I look at it and they're like, yeah, there's no room for error at that game. Like, they're going so fast that it's just, I feel like it's pretty dangerous. Obviously, they know what they're doing. I'm friends with Sam. I know what he's been through. So yeah, I'll stay clear of that one. But the Tiger, I actually love riding it. So we just need to speak to Triumph and ask what they want me to do next.
So it's confirmed, no Dakar.
No Dakar. I thought you were going to say something else, and I was trying to think what we're doing.
So this kind of leads on to the next question. This is from P. Kovachev 234. Do you think you could someday finish in the gold class with that adventure bike?
No, absolutely not a chance. I really enjoyed Romaniacs this year because the riding was perfect for the bike. Like, you didn't have to push the bike. My bike weighs, I think, 220 or 240 kilograms or something, and you can't push them. That Romaniacs that we just did was by far my most enjoyable Romaniacs. Like, the riding was good. It was difficult, but not too difficult. And that's how I think racing should be. Like, the top riders should be doing it fine, and then other people after that could be struggling. So I think the guys did an amazing job, and I really enjoyed it. But no, I do not want to go and ride extreme on an adventure bike, ever.
It was quite nice as well, because usually in the gold class, your start time is like 6 o'clock in the morning. But for that adventure class, yours was about 9 and Sam's was about 10.
Yeah. It was perfect.
So
yeah, we still rode for like 5 hours, didn't we? But we got up at like, you'd get up at 6, 7 o'clock like normal, and then go out for your day. Whereas in gold class, you usually get up like 3:30, 4 o'clock. So that was really nice, actually.
Okay, Rider_66. What would the change on the Tiger setup for the next Redbull Romaniacs be?
I think if we had more time, we would take more stuff off. You could lose so much weight. You could get a different exhaust, and you could go on, the list can go on, but we literally got the bike a few days before, so we didn't have time to do anything. But honestly, I enjoyed riding it as it was. We literally had a standard, the only thing we changed, I'll get into this, we had different forks and we had a different shock, but on day one, the shock malfunctioned. So we ended up going back to the standard shock. So we literally rode a standard Tiger with different forks and a different rear wheel, and that was it. Obviously we put mousses and different tyres on, and that was it. So I think we ride the bike, I honestly had so much fun riding it. And people were like, oh, you need to be careful with the clutch, you need to do this, you need to do that. But the bike's got so much power that you didn't ever use the clutch. You literally just third gear. Honestly, I had such a good time riding it.
What does the bike weigh compared to other bikes? Because I did hear.
No, I did hear, I heard different things, that some bikes are around 160 and we were around 220. That's only because our bike was a production off-the-shelf bike.
That's quite a different
we could save,
though.
We could do that, you know, we could change the frame like other people have done.
That's 60 kilos. That's like me.
Like you on the bike with me.
On the bike.
I took you around with me.
With you the whole time.
But you could do so much to the bike if you had time. But
probably
you don't really need to do that much. It shows that we don't really need to do that much.
Okay, from Donny Glover 438. Did the heavy Triumph Tiger really wear you out? How does it change your riding style?
No, it didn't wear me out at all. I felt good at the end of the week. Obviously my heart rate had been up, but it was different riding. Like it was more faster riding, flowing, you weren't pushing the bike, so you didn't really get worn out, I would say. Yeah, I was tired at the end, obviously, after doing 4 or 5 hour days every day for 4 days. But no, it didn't really wear me out. And then my riding style, I learned a lot about drifting the bike because it's a bit bigger and heavier. That you back it in, like on the fire roads, you really back it in and drift and ride the bike like that, because obviously on a smaller bike you just sit down and power around corners, whereas this thing is a lot bigger and heavier, so you can drift it. It was so nice to drift, but that's how I crashed on the final day. I was in about third gear and I came down a hill, drifted, and then somehow, I don't really know what happened, I just felt the back come way further than it should have, and then that's when I knew it was going wrong, and then I just went boo, boo, boo. Out the front door, down the gravel road. But it's just heavy to pick up after you crash that bike.
We did practice some deadlifts before you went out, didn't we? This is from Seed Motorsport, seed.motorsport. 1 to 10, how hard was it to go through all of the 4 days? Yes, I was a photographer there. That's quite cool.
Yeah, like the riding was good, honestly. I think they did such a good job of marking out the track, that you had nice fire roads. You also had these difficult sections. As I said before, the majority of the riders could get up stuff. Obviously, people losing time, but it was more down to racing. You weren't ever having to push the bike, which I think that's how it should be. But yeah, no, it wasn't too bad. I really enjoyed it. This
one's from Ollie Bowen. What was your favourite part of this year's prologue?
Yeah, I feel like the prologue was easier than normal, but I feel like it made better racing because of that. Everyone was pretty much getting around. There wasn't any stoppers this year, but I quite like the tracks when there's more flow and stuff like that. Obviously, I was in the adventure class. We went at about 6 o'clock in the morning and we went over some obstacles, around some. If you watch my other vlogs, I did one of the jumps on it, but I was so scared to do this jump because I'd not really jumped the bike yet. So yeah, probably my favourite bit was probably hitting the freestyle ramp, even though I was so scared.
This is from bites_br. Which was the most difficult to ride a big bike in Romaniacs compared with enduro bikes?
To ride gold class is unreal. Honestly, that's why I didn't ride gold class this year, is because I hadn't done half as much training as what I needed to do. I hadn't had the preparation that we needed to. Next year it'll probably be different. I honestly had an amazing 4 days of riding. I really enjoyed it more than I ever have, so I did enjoy riding the adventure class. So if you're thinking about riding it, I would 100% ride it.
Run Deezy, do you think the front end was twitchy? I know the rake is a little more tight than some bikes. I've got no idea what a rake is.
The rake is like the front end. It's either the distance or whatever, the way it's raked out.
I'm assuming everyone else here knew what a rake was. It's only me.
Probably know better than me, to be honest. We actually ran a front fork that was longer, and it was how much longer? 35
I think
mil?
It was 35.
So we ran it flush like we did with a standard fork, but that would mean it was 35 mil longer, so the rake was obviously out a little bit more, and I couldn't get it to turn. That was as soon as we put it in and we went practicing. So when I dropped it back through, we probably went through at least 10 mil, so we could get it to turn. But I didn't really have any issues with it feeling funny or anything. No, I was quite comfortable with it. It was moving a lot, but the bike's so heavy, and as soon as you're accelerating and braking, it's moving a lot. So
there's a lot of people who've said congratulations on another success, great job, killer riding. So thanks. Well done. Lots of positive feedback.
Thanks.
R. Mumford 116. How was it riding with Atom? A lot of your track was with Atom, wasn't it? So
I can't remember.
I think so. How was riding How was it riding with Adam? We could hear you coming a mile away and moved over fast.
I loved it, honestly. When you're in gold, you kind of do like really short sections that are easy, and then you just get thrown in to something absolutely savage and brutal. Half of the time you end up pushing your bike, whereas like if I was going to ride Romaniacs and I was going like on a whim on my own or with some friends or something, I would probably want to ride silver or bronze and just have a laugh and a ride round and have fun and enjoy it, whereas gold's savage. But obviously we rode a lot of atom trails and they were cool. I really enjoyed it, honestly. That's what riding should be, I think.
Enjoying it.
Enjoying it.
That's cool. Keebs91s asked how different was the course for the adventure bikes? So quite different.
Yeah, so there was two adventure classes. There was Ultimate and what was the other adventure class? Light. Sam rode the light one and he said it was fairly easy. Ours was pretty easy, but then also like the difficult bits were actually difficult because obviously you're on a way bigger bike and you don't have the same traction. But then honestly, sometimes the bike, obviously with it being a 900 on a hill climb, like I got to some hill climbs, I'm sorry if I ever rode into anyone by accident. I kind of knocked someone off at one point, I'm really sorry. The power of it on a hill, you were just like to the top and like you were just hanging on until you got to the top.
H___, there's a lot of underscores going on in there. 95H has said, is it worth the money for an atom or iron class for a hobby rider? So is it worth going if you were going to be riding? Honestly, you kind of just answered that, I feel, by saying.
Because you're going to go there. I dare say it is a lot of money, like to do the race. I've never had to do it, and like I'm fortunate that I ride for a team and I've kind of done it before and had to pay for stuff, but I'm lucky I don't have to pay for mousses and tyres and all that stuff, because if you're going to go and do it, it's going to cost you so much to do it that you might as well spend the extra money and put new tyres on every day and give yourself the best chance to enjoy yourself. But the riding that you get to do is, I feel like it's the best riding in the world. Like you literally do you do like 120, 180 kilometers a day of like mountain tops in nice woods. So yeah, it is 100% worth it, and I would definitely suggest going to that one race compared to some other races that are like one-day races where you don't really get your money's worth and stuff like that. So I do say it's one of the best races.
Miles James 57 has asked this one. I feel like this is a question for me to answer actually. How many scoops of ride nutrition do you put in your camel pack?
How many do I?
I put 2 in. I don't know whether you wanted to, but I think I did put 2 in.
And that was with
a 1.5 litre small bag.
Yeah, you're supposed to put more in than that, but I don't like to overdo it.
To have 3, aren't you?
3 for 500 ml maybe, I don't know.
1 per 500 ml, I think.
Yeah, I always underdose myself just to save myself, but then I always try and get in food and sort of stuff like that, then overdo it. I hate it when your drink's too strong, that it's not very nice. So when we come in, I had my mechanic Jean, and then Triumph sent Tristan and Aaron from the UK in a van as well. So they pretty much, the 3 of them just worked together and looked after us both, which was good because you only have 20 minutes when you come in from a service thing to get ready to go back out. So them boys were literally, as soon as one of us came in, flat out, you had food ready, you looked after me and Sam, didn't you?
Yeah.
Emily was there, she had like a little gas hob and you would cook pasta and sauce before we got there. We got there, we scranned the food, had some Red Bulls,
had a Red Bull, had some sweets.
Other swagger, and then off we went.
Yeah, and it was good because usually you would be in and then 20 minutes later Sam would come in. But then I think it was the day before the last one, Sam broke down. Yeah. And he ended up coming in at the same time. He didn't break
down, he fell off and broke his clutch lever. Schoolboy error.
Did he? I didn't know.
He did, he broke his clutch lever. And that's why he was struggling to set off. He was basically having to set off, kick the bike into gear and then just ride until it would stall, kind of thing.
But then when they turned up at the same time, that was a little bit of a hectic one because I think you needed some help with something, Sam needed some help, and it was just a bit wild, but it was good. Eddie Lindeke 281. What was your biggest struggle on adapting to the bigger bike on Romaniacs?
The biggest thing at first was the seat height. Seat's dead wide, but we actually found out after I went testing, I came back and I was like, it'd be so much better if the seat was a little bit higher because it was so far to travel up and down. You know, for the corners, you came into a corner and you sat down and you felt like you were sitting into the bike and the handlebars were up here. But then on the bike, you could actually pick something up underneath the seat, which would then sit about an inch or 2 inches higher.
Is that a standard thing?
It's a standard thing on the Triumph, yeah. And it made it feel way better. Only for when you sat down, when you're riding it like a motocross bike, sat down. Because that's how I felt like I rode the bike. Honestly, that was by far the best test for the Triumph Tiger I think it's ever had. It's literally had 4 brutal off-road days, and I feel like I ragged it. Like I literally did, because I wanted to win, I'm not gonna lie. Days 2, 3 and 4, well, day 1 I was just going as fast as I could. So I rode the bike literally like I would ride a 450 motocross bike. So I was just thrashing it everywhere, revving it, being aggressive, and it didn't miss a beat.
Survived.
So I'm honestly well impressed.
Des Mojo 78 has said, you are top level, finishing Erzberg with a 4-stroke, finishing Romaniacs with an elephant. Very proud of you.
Next year, was it Des?
Yeah.
Des, next year we're going to be on fire. Big boot camp coming up soon. That's why I'm going to America early, so I can do like a solid 5 weeks before the first round. Triumph have built an endurocross track on the facility with the motocross tracks. So I can go out there, I'll be able to ride with the boys out there, and we'll be on fire. We sat the other day and we watched some motocross races. We watched Jet Lawrence.
Who do you think chose to watch, to put that on the TV?
I decided to watch...
Drop a comment.
I watch every motocross. I watch every AMA motocross, and I was like, look at Jet Lawrence, what's he doing, blah, 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 blah. So Emily's now written me a programme so we can ride awesome, and it's going to work. Hopefully. If it doesn't, it's Emily's fault.
Right, this is a good one to finish with, actually. Quick fire questions.
Bosh.
Mr. Rally Bike. That sounds like a cool Instagram name. Your 3 best tips to improve riding and speed in the woods/single trails. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
3.
My 3 best tips to improve speed.
Yeah, on the single trails in the woods.
Tip number 1, always look ahead. Like, not at your front wheel. Have a good view straight out in front of you.
Yeah, look where you're going.
Number 2, don't be aggressive, just be smooth. Obviously, when you're being smooth is like fast, you can carry speed, you've got nice flow, you're not making mistakes. If you're too aggressive, you're on and off the gas all the time. Tip number 3 is clutch control, which is everything. Clutch and throttle control. So doing like your slow stuff also helps you do the fast stuff. There we have the final day vlog from Romaniacs. So thank you very much for watching. We'll get some stuff done soon because we've got Tyne ride, and then we're off to America. So thanks for watching, and peace out from me and Emily. Bye-bye.